Okay. Today we're talking about connection. I use that word a lot in my videos. What is connection? What does that mean? Um, Oftentimes we find ourselves in unfulfilling relationships because we don't feel like the the connection is what we want it to be. Um, a lot of times we find that in relationships with our parents, relationships with our children, relationships with our brothers, with our sisters. Um, it's a little bit different with friends because we can kind of shift those relationships and sort of experiment with them a little bit more. The boundaries a lot of times are more fluid. However, with family relationships, it's like we we want a certain relationship with someone in our family. We want to connect a certain way, and we get unfulfilled when it doesn't happen. Like in a genuine, a lot of times we get unfulfilled because it doesn't happen in a genuine sense. Um, a lot of times we just find ourselves playing roles. So I'm playing the role of mother, I'm playing the role of daughter, I'm playing the role of son. Um, and this can look like all kinds of things. Like, okay, I'm playing the role of mother, meaning that I'm worrying, I'm I'm worrying enough, criticizing enough, I am judging enough, I am in your space, sort of like present in your space. So whether or not you've asked me to be there, I'm here. Hello. So that's usually the role of mother in our culture, right? To be selfless, to be just there, to be physically present at all times and moments, and usually that's the type of relationships we have with our mothers. They call, they write, they show up, they are there. um, and the same thing with children, with daughters, with sons. We find ourselves playing roles like, okay, I have to be good, or I have to do this right, or I have to um, have everything in line and organized, for mommy to approve of, or for, um, and so in these relationships we play all these roles, and we don't, a lot of times, don't really know each other as people. We don't know each other as spirits, as we don't know each other's hearts a lot of times because we're so caught up in playing these roles and playing these roles. Just recently, I sat in a restaurant, and I was sitting there listening to this younger lady and this older lady speak with each other, and it just, the whole time I'm sitting there, I'm hearing little snippets of their conversation. I'm thinking, okay, this is an interesting business conversation, especially on the weekends. They met up, and they're talking about planning things and dates, and when and where and who, and it basically sounded like a business conversation. And then it wasn't until later on, towards the end of the meal, I realized that it was a mother and a daughter. And I was like, okay, I it makes sense. At first I was like, dang, it really saddened me, because I was just like, well, first it in some ways reminded me of me and my mom. So I was like, and I was taken back, and then I was just kind of like, it does make sense, because we are all playing these roles, you know. Um, the mother wants some presence and control and territory in their, um, they want a piece of their child's life, right? Because I'm the mother. I'm the mother, you know? And then the child is proving to them that they're strong enough, that they're independent enough, that they're smart enough to do this life on their own, you know? I'm proving to you with everything I'm saying that I can handle it, you know? And then the mother's like finding things in ways that they still fit. And again, this goes back to the video that I made about, you know, your true self. And when we play these roles, you know, we're playing what we've been taught. We were playing what is culturally right. We're playing what is socially right. As a mother, as a daughter, as a son, as a husband, as a wife. We're playing these roles. We're playing house in a sense. This is what we see on TV. This is what is expected. This is what is right. This is what is good, you know. If I don't do these things, then I'm a bad mother. If I don't do these things, I'm a bad daughter. If I don't do these things, I'm a bad blank, you know. And ultimately, it goes back to, if I don't do these things, then I'm a bad person. And so we're doing things, we're writing cards, we're writing thank you notes, we're smiling, we're calling back, we're texting, we're checking in, we're writing emails, we're doing everything we're supposed to do. And then it's just like, is any of it genuine? And that goes back to, what is connection? Connection in a genuine sense is a spiritual connection, is a heartfelt connection, is my heart is open, your heart is open, and on some level we are connecting. I feel this. Okay, I feel that you feel that. I understand, or I want to understand, you know? And then it's like, okay, my heart is open over here. I feel this. And it's like, okay, I see that you feel that. I understand, or I want to understand. And then there's a connection. And then there's a strength in that, because you see each other as your true selves. You see each other as your spirit selves. You see each other as your loving and divine self, instead of your desperate self, begging for approval, begging to be liked, begging to be right, begging to be good. You see? And so that connection is just that. It is a certain openness, a simultaneous openness, right? Because one cannot be open and the other like this. That would be foolish on the part of this person to stay all the way open. Now, it's not to say like, okay, harden yourself around this person, but it's just to say protect yourself. So once you realize that, okay, this person in the relationship, their heart is closed, their heart chakra is closed, they're closed up, they got really hurt a lot in their lifetime or in their past life, and they are hardened, they are closed, right? And so this person has to understand, okay, I have a little bit of hope that this person will one day maybe open up a little bit. But for now, I have to accept, and accepting where someone else is very important. If we want to love someone, we have to accept where they are. It's not that we have to change who we are, adjust who we are. We can still be our true selves, but it's a matter of saying, I know where they are. I will be open, but I will not be compromising. There's a difference between compromising and compromising yourself. You see, it's a very fine line, and trust me, I'm still learning. But Compromising yourself, meaning like, oh, I'm going to put myself in this position, and they're going to go, and I'm going to go, and maybe I'll play victim or something, right? But playing victim is, as we know, and as I might talk about in later videos, not going to help you or anybody. So it's a matter of staying true to who you are, staying genuine, staying open, however, accepting where they are. So knowing that, okay, if you ask me, I'll tell you, but I'm not just going to put all of this on you if you're, if it's gonna push us away. Now, also being true to yourself and genuine to yourself may also mean, okay, I understand where you are. I love you and I wish you the best, but there's got to be serious boundaries here, because every time we get too close, I get very hurt. I get disappointed. I get violated. I get my energy drained. And so until we come to a certain balance with where you are and where I am, then we have to, well, then I am going to put up boundaries. So we'll only talk this many times a month. Or when we do talk and something starts to come over into my space, then I shut it down. Okay, goodbye, love you. Right? So this is what happens when one is open and one is closed. However, ideally, we like to kind of simultaneously open together. And it helps us to build a bond, a genuine bond. Connection also means to life forms. Connection to the ocean, connection to elements, the wind, water, the universe. Connection to animals, connection to plants, connection to all life forms, connection to any person, showing compassion, showing understanding. We cannot connect unless we're open and honest. How can a seed connect to the ground and connect to the sunlight and connect to the water? How can a plant connect with all of these elements to grow if it thinks that it's an elephant? And I know that might sound funny, but how can we connect? How can we grow if we're not honest with ourselves? How can we be well and be happy if we're not connecting to ourselves first? They always say that in this culture, we love things and we use people, and we should be using things and loving people, right? It's true, but don't get caught up in, I have to be pleasant, I have to be nice. Don't get caught up in that. Yes, it's a good practice to be compassionate and understanding, but that doesn't mean to lose yourself. That doesn't mean to compromise yourself. That doesn't mean to let someone take your energy because it's nice. I'm being nice. I'm being good. A lot of times those actions and that role that we play by being nice and by being pleasant and by smiling and sending cards and checking in and worrying. Oh, I love you so much. That's why I worry. All of these things go back to the roots of the belief that I am not a good person unless I play this role. I am not a good person unless I'm smiling, unless I'm pleasant, unless I'm a martyr. I am not a good person. But we're twisted. Who cares about being good or bad or right or wrong? None of that is even real. None of that is even real. What's real is honesty. What's real is alignment. What's real is connection. That's real. That's what is real.